Hello, my dear students. Hope you're all safe and sound. Today, we are going to tackle a new grammar lesson, conditional if, zero, and first condition. The learning objectives of today's lesson are: by the end of this lesson, you will be able to match the sentences with their suitable results, to recognize the structure of the sentences using if, and to differentiate between the two groups of the sentences, to identify the usages and the forms of the two types of if conditional, 0 and 1, to apply on the form of the verbs through a game, and finally, to apply on the structure of if conditional sentences through an activity. You were asked in your flipped classroom to play a matching pairs game. Was it interesting? Of course it was, as you were asked to save a copy from your answers to discuss it together. Now, it's time to check your answers. Match each sentence with the suitable answer. Question number 1. If it's cold, what was your answer? Excellent. Of course, I'll wear a coat. Question number 2. If you don't do your homework, what was your answer? Yes, for sure. You will get a bad grades. Question number 3. If I have enough money, your answer should be, I'll buy the new album. Question number 4. If I get 100 in my test, for sure I'll be super happy. Number 5. If you don't behave well, you will be punished. If he doesn't get up early, for sure he will miss the bus. Iron gets rusty if you leave it in the air, of course. Butter melts if you leave it in the sun. If you boil water, water vapor comes out. Question number 10. Many fish die if we pollute the water. Number 11. If you put salt in orange juice, it tastes awful. Number 12. If you mix red and blue, you get purple. Okay, now let's find out what are the differences and what are the similarities or the things in common between these sentences. If we take a quick look over the first group of sentences, we will find out that all of them start with the if conjunction. We can also find that there are commas to separate between the two parts of the sentences. If we take a quick look over the verbs, we will notice that if conjunction is always followed by the present simple tense verb, like it's, have, get, doesn't get up. As for the second part of the sentences, we will find out that the verbs are in the future tense, which is will plus the verb in the base form or the infinitive form. For example, I'll wear, I will get or you will get, you will be, you will miss, and so on. Now, let's look at the second group of sentences. What are the differences? Yes, you're right. The first three sentences start with if conjunction, with a comma to separate between the two parts of the sentences. As for the next three sentences, we can find that the if conjunction came in the middle, and in that case, we omitted the comma. What about the things in common? True, all the verbs in these sentences are in the present simple tense, like boil, tastes, leave, melts, pollute, and so on. This is called conditional if, zero and first conditionals. Now it's time to check the usages, or when do we use the zero conditional if? Zero conditional if is used to talk about things that are always true, scientific facts, general truths, habits, and things in the real world. Let's have some examples. Iron gets rusty if you leave it in the air. Actually, this is a scientific fact. Butter melts if you leave it in the sun. Also, this is a scientific fact. If you put salt in orange juice, it tastes awful. This is a general truth and always true. What about the form? How can we form a zero conditional if? We have to start the sentence with the if conjunction followed by the present simple tense verb. We have to separate between the two sentences using the comma and then the present simple verb also. The first part of the sentence that includes the if conjunction is called if clause, and the second part is called main clause. Remember, if we started with the if conjunction, don't ever forget to add the comma in the middle. For example, if you leave ice cream in the sun, it melts. We have another option. We can start with the main clause followed by the if clause. But in that case, we have to omit the comma in the middle. For example, you get green if you mix blue and yellow. Now let's move to the usages for the first conditional. The first conditional is used to talk about possible situations, giving warnings, and superstition. Let's have some example. If it's cold, I'll wear a coat. And here it's a possible situation. If you don't study hard, you will fail your exam. And here I'm giving a warning. If you break a mirror, you will get 7 years of bad luck. And this is a superstition. So we can define the word superstition as ideas people are convinced with, but they are not real or true. What about the form? As the zero conditional, we have if clause and the main clause. But actually here, the main clause has a different verb tense. Yes, if we take a look, we will find out that the main clause, the verb starts with will plus the verb in the base form. For example, if Mary works harder, she will finish the reports on time. We have another option to start with the main clause followed by the if clause. But in that case, as we said before, we have to omit or to delete the comma. For example, we will feel ill if we eat all these pies. Thank you very much and wish you good luck.